everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop. Mayor, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Mayor, we have a really timely conversation today that affects both residents of New York City as well as New Jersey. I'm in Jersey City right now. You can see the Manhattan skyline behind me. And last week, congestion pricing in New York City officially went into effect. So what this means is if you're entering Manhattan below 60th Street on certain streets, it will cost you $9 during peak hours, a little less during off-peak hours. And you're offering a response to congestion pricing. But before we get into that, I want to know, what is your response now that we're a little more than a week out?
From the onset, I said that New Jersey was taking a wrong approach here, from Governor Murphy to Mikey Sherrill to Josh Gottheimer, all opposing it. I mean, objectively, if you think about who is the person that drives their personal vehicle to Midtown Manhattan every day for work and then pays $1,000 to park, is not your everyday working class person. It's the wealthiest 2% of people. And we need an investment in mass transit. So there is merit to the argument if you're smart about it. The last week, we've seen less traffic for sure, but it's hard to tell if that's directly related to congestion pricing. We need a little bit larger sample to kind of tell for sure.
You were suggesting reverse congestion pricing. Can you talk about what that is?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that we have a regional economy. New York and New Jersey are tied together. We have a regional transportation system. So when people in New Jersey say it's only funding the MTA and that's a bad thing, I mean, if you're fair about it, people from New Jersey take the bus and train to the Port Authority and then take the MTA system. But the same way New Yorkers rely on New Jersey Transit. So what I'm saying is that we need to get New York to the table to get hundreds of millions of dollars also for New Jersey Transit. And if need be, then we should be taxing New Yorkers coming here the same way they tax New Jerseyans. But the ideal situation is you use it as leverage to get them to the table to talk about a holistic solution that we share money as opposed to additional taxes. But if we have to tax New Yorkers, so be it.
You think that New Jersey leaders have gone about this all wrong. I want to read part of a statement from New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy from November when he talked about congestion pricing. He said this: all of us need to listen to the message that voters across America sent last Tuesday, which is that the vast majority of Americans are experiencing severe economic strains and still feeling the effects of inflation. There could not be a worse time to impose a new $9 toll on individuals who are traveling into downtown Manhattan for work, school, or leisure. So you're saying that he's going about this all wrong. How so? And what do you think about his message there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's fighting for the wealthiest 2% of the population. I mean, the 98% of New Jerseyans take mass transit to work that work in New York City. And the fact that he hasn't invested in New Jersey Transit buses or trains, that they are all in a situation beyond repair, unreliable, not clean, really speaks to him not being in touch with really what's relevant in this situation. There's a lot of reasons why Democrats lost in November. And to pivot, though, and specifically say that polls say X, so I'm going to change what I believe or articulating, is not really leadership. It's actually a lack of leadership.
And has anyone agreed with your idea? Because Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer isn't on board with it, but has anyone agreed with it? Are they coming to the table? What does that look like?
Well, look, I would say at the end of the day, all the approaches that Phil Murphy and Josh Gottheimer and the others have taken said from the beginning, they said there would never be congestion pricing. They'll fight it. And I said it was the wrong approach. Now, here we are. There is congestion pricing, and we got no money to show for it. So it was an entirely lose-lose proposition what they started down. And my point is that I think there's an opportunity for New Jersey to have leverage here and to really lean into a shared regional economy, which is great for New Jersey and it's great for New York too.
And would reverse congestion pricing, because when you say that, it sounds like, just based on the phrase, that there's an additional tax on a driver. So if you're going into New Jersey, is that charging you extra money? Would
Yeah.
people get hit twice with the congestion pricing in New York? What does that look like?
No, you wouldn't get hit twice. I mean, the technology exists today that you can screen and omit whoever you want to omit and include whoever you want to include. So, the technology is very robust, and New Jerseyans would not be hit twice at all. I think the goal is to use leverage that New Jersey has to increase the funding into New Jersey Transit. The same way New York is doing it on the backs of New Jerseyans, we need to put them at the table and make sure that New Jersey is benefiting. And I don't think that's happened because, our leadership has looked at polls They say in polls, people don't like it, and then they go to pursue litigation. And that's really got us nowhere ultimately.
And what do you think is missing from the conversation when it comes to congestion pricing? Because I work in New Jersey, I live in New York, I live close to where the 60th Street cutoff is. So this conversation is happening a lot, not only in my professional life, but in my personal life too. And there are charged arguments on both sides. What do you think's missing?
Leadership. Leadership means that sometimes you have to have conversations that are a little bit uncomfortable, articulate why you think it's in the best interests of the people you're representing. And then if you are right on the facts, then try to move in that direction. I don't think any of that stuff has happened. I think New Jersey leadership has basically taken the approach of looking at political polls and then said, we're just going to go with what the poll tells us. And that's really not in the best interest of finding funding for mass transit, improving mass transit, the environment, any of that, congestion to begin with. So I think New Jersey has taken an entirely wrong approach here.
And if anyone is on mass transit, especially in the New York, New Jersey area, you know just how unreliable it is.
Yeah.
You have to leave early. There you might be stuck on that subway, you might be stuck on that train. If people, let's say there's someone who says, "Hey, I'm a commuter and you're forcing me back on public transportation and I could be late, there could be delays. I don't want to do this." How fast would you say that money is going to be poured into NJ Transit and you'll see different results? They'll work on infrastructure, that type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's been a huge missed opportunity by this administration, the governor, and I think whoever the next governor is needs to understand mass transit and put money immediately to work there to fund it with a recurring revenue stream that you can invest properly. People aren't going to ride a system that's not reliable, that's not clean, that doesn't do as it's expected to do. So I think that if given the chance to be governor, it's going to be a priority, maybe priority number one.
And what's next in this congestion pricing argument? What do you want the conversations exactly to look like between New York and New Jersey when they come to the table?
Well, look, I don't think New York is at the table at this point because they've won. They've implemented congestion pricing. There's no imperative for them to share. They have won essentially in court. New Jersey's in this appeal process. TBD how that works out. You know, the president has said that he's not a supporter of it. It's unclear what he's actually going to implement once he gets there. So I think it's out of New Jersey hands at this point, unfortunately, and that's largely because New Jersey has taken the wrong approach from the beginning.
And you're the mayor of Jersey City. I know pretty much everyone in Jersey City is probably commuting back and forth into the city. What have your constituents been saying about this?
Well, look, in the first week, there's definitely been an improvement on our roads. There's no question about that. And you could say that's related to congestion pricing. It's very possible. I don't know for certain yet. We need a larger size of a sample more than just 1 week. But there's definitely positive indicators for sure.
Mayor, I appreciate your time today. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for joining me, and I hope you can come back again.
Thank you. Have a great day.